What if I told you that the smartest men alive have quietly abandoned the one romantic belief that society still desperately clings to, the idea of soulmates? Not because they're cynical, not because they've given up on love, but because they've discovered something that philosophy has known for centuries, but nobody wants you to understand. Nietzsche saw this coming over 100 years ago, and what he predicted is exactly what's happening right now, in the minds of intelligent men everywhere. By the end of this video, you'll understand why believing in soulmates might be the most dangerous romantic delusion of our time, and why the men who've figured this out are the ones actually experiencing real connection, while everyone else is trapped in an endless cycle of disappointment. Or maybe you're one of these men and didn't even realize what you'd already figured out. But first, let me show you exactly what's happening. Picture this. You're at a wedding, and the groom gives his speech about finding his other half, his one true soulmate, the person who completes him. Everyone smiles. Some people cry. It's beautiful. But watch the faces of the smartest guys in the room. They're not smiling. They're not moved. There's something in their eyes that looks almost like pity, like they're watching someone walk confidently toward a cliff edge while everyone cheers them on. These men know something the rest of the room doesn't, and once you understand what it is, you'll never see romantic relationships the same way again. Nietzsche wrote something that still makes people uncomfortable today. He said there is always some madness in love, but there is also always some reason in madness. What did he mean? He meant that love makes us temporarily insane, and the soulmate myth is the perfect framework to keep us in that insanity forever. Smart men have figured this out. They've realized that the soulmate belief isn't romantic. It's a trap designed to keep you searching for something that does not exist, while missing everything that actually does. Think about the last relationship that didn't work out. How long did you spend wondering if they were the one? How many signs did you analyze? How much energy did you waste trying to force compatibility because you believed this person might be your soulmate? Now imagine if you'd never believed in soulmates at all. How different would that relationship have looked? But here's what nobody tells you. The soulmate myth isn't just harmless fantasy. It's actively destroying your ability to build real connection. And Nietzsche understood exactly why. When you believe in soulmates, you're waiting for perfection. When you wait for perfection, you miss the imperfect person standing right in front of you who could actually make you happy. But it gets worse than that because the soulmate belief does something even more insidious to your mind. Nietzsche spent his entire career warning people about what he called slave morality, the ways we're taught to think that actually keep us weak and dependent. And the soulmate myth, that's slave morality at its finest. It teaches you that you're incomplete without someone else. It convinces you that your happiness depends on finding one specific person out of 8 billion. It makes you believe that love is something that happens to you rather than something you create. And smart men, the ones who've actually studied philosophy, who've thought deeply about human nature, who've paid attention to their own experiences, they've seen through this completely. They've realized that believing in soulmates is like believing in Santa Claus, except Santa Claus doesn't have the power to destroy your 30s with endless disappointment and failed relationships. But let me ask you something. When was the last time someone told you it's okay to not believe in soulmates? When was the last time you heard someone say that maybe, just maybe, this romantic ideal that society has sold you is actually making you miserable? You haven't. Because that message doesn't sell movies, doesn't fuel dating apps, doesn't keep people searching and hoping and spending money trying to find something that was never real in the first place. Nietzsche wrote that all things are subject to interpretation, and whichever interpretation prevails at a given time is a function of power, not truth. The soulmate interpretation prevails because it serves power, the power of industries built on your romantic desperation, the power of a culture that needs you confused about love so you stay dependent and controllable, the power of people who benefit from you believing you're incomplete, But smart men have stopped accepting that interpretation. They found a different way to understand love, connection, and partnership. And that's what makes them dangerous to the system. They're not playing the game anymore, and when you stop playing, you stop being controllable. Right now, I want to know something from you. What city are you watching this from? Drop it in the comments because I'm curious to see how far this message is spreading, and whether men all over the world are waking up to the same realization at the same time. Now let me show you what smart men have figured out instead of the soulmate myth, and why it actually works better for creating real, lasting connection. Nietzsche believed that amor fati, the love of fate, the acceptance of reality as it is rather than how you wish it would be, was the path to actual freedom. And that's exactly what smart men are applying to relationships. Instead of believing in the one perfect person, they understand something radically different. They understand that compatibility isn't found, it's built. Love isn't discovered, it's created through conscious choice and continuous effort. Your partner isn't your other half. They're a whole person who chooses to walk beside another whole person. Think about how different that is from the soulmate model. In the soulmate model, you're searching. In the smart man's model, you're building. In the soulmate model, relationships fail because you picked the wrong person. In the smart man's model, relationships fail because one or both people stopped building. In the soulmate model, love is fate. In the smart man's model, love is choice. Which model gives you more power? Which model makes you the author of your romantic life instead of a victim waiting for the universe to deliver your perfect match? But here's where it gets really interesting, because once you abandon the soulmate myth, you start seeing relationships clearly for the first time. And what you see might shock you. You see that most relationship advice is designed to keep you searching, not to help you build. You see that rom-coms and love songs are selling you addiction, not connection. You see that the people most invested in the soulmate myth are often the ones most miserable in their actual relationships. Nietzsche wrote that the individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. The smart man who stops believing in soulmates is struggling against the tribe right now, and the tribe is not happy about it. Because when you stop believing in soulmates, you stop being easy to manipulate. You stop swiping endlessly on dating apps hoping the next person might be the one. You stop staying in mediocre relationships because maybe they could become your soulmate with enough work. You stop tolerating incompatibility because the universe wouldn't have brought you together if you weren't meant to be. You become a man who evaluates relationships based on reality, makes decisions based on compatibility, and shared values instead of cosmic signs, and builds connection through intentional effort, instead of waiting for magic to happen. And that terrifies the system that profits from your confusion. But it also gives you something most men never experience: actual peace in your romantic life. Let me tell you about two types of men. The first type believes in soulmates. He meets someone, feels chemistry, and immediately starts wondering if this is it, if she's the one. He analyzes every conversation, looking for signs they're meant to be together. He ignores red flags because soulmates can work through anything. He stays too long in wrong relationships because what if he gives up right before the breakthrough? He leaves good relationships because something didn't feel quite magical enough. He reaches 40 still searching, still believing, still disappointed, wondering why the universe hasn't delivered what everyone promised would happen. The second type doesn't believe in soulmates. He meets someone and asks different questions. Are our values aligned? Do we want similar futures? Can we communicate effectively? Do we bring out good things in each other? He doesn't ignore red flags because he's not trying to force cosmic compatibility. He doesn't stay in wrong relationships because he's not waiting for destiny to fix them. He doesn't leave good relationships chasing a feeling because he understands feelings are temporary and choice is forever. He reaches 40 in a partnership he actively built with someone who chose him back every single day. Which man do you want to be? But here's what Nietzsche would tell you. It's harder to be the second man. It's harder because you have to take responsibility. When you believe in soulmates, relationship failure is fate's fault. You just haven't met the right person yet. When you don't believe in soulmates, relationship failure is your fault. You made poor choices, ignored obvious incompatibilities, or failed to build something sustainable. That's a harder truth to face, and that's exactly why smart men are willing to face it. Nietzsche wrote that he who has a why to live can bear almost any how. Smart men have found their why. They've stopped searching for the one and started building with someone who's actually there. They've stopped believing in cosmic perfection and started creating real connection. They've stopped waiting for completion and started choosing partnership. And the how, the actual day-to-day reality of relationships, becomes bearable because it's no longer weighed down by impossible expectations. You're not disappointed that your partner isn't perfect because you never expected perfection. You're not crushed when the initial chemistry fades because you knew chemistry was always temporary. You're not devastated by conflict because you understand that two whole people will always have friction, and that friction is where real intimacy gets forged. But let me show you something else Nietzsche understood that changes everything. He believed that we suffer more in imagination than in reality, and nowhere is that more true than in romantic relationships. When you believe in soulmates, you suffer from imagining the perfect relationship you don't have. You suffer from comparing your reality to the fantasy that movies and music have sold you. You suffer from thinking everyone else has found their person while you're still searching. That suffering is all imagination, and it's destroying your ability to appreciate what's actually in front of you. Smart men have stopped imagining and started living, stopped comparing and started building, stopped searching for cosmic confirmation and started making conscious choices. And you know what they've discovered? Relationships get better when you stop believing they're supposed to be effortless. Connection deepens when you stop waiting for magic and start creating it through small daily choices. Partnership becomes real when you stop trying to complete each other and start supporting each other as complete individuals. Nietzsche wrote that there are no facts, only interpretations, and smart men have chosen an interpretation of love that actually serves them. Not the interpretation that sells movies, not the interpretation that fuels dating apps, not the interpretation that keeps you hoping and searching and disappointed, but the interpretation that puts you in control of your romantic destiny. And that interpretation starts with one simple truth. Soulmates don't exist, but great partnerships do. And you build them through choice, not through fate. But accepting this truth requires you to let go of something you've probably believed your entire life. It requires you to stop seeing yourself as incomplete. Stop waiting for someone to save you. Stop believing that love is something that happens to you. It requires you to grow up romantically in a culture that wants you to stay a child forever, waiting for the fairy tale that never comes. That's hard. Nietzsche knew that anything worth doing is hard. He wrote that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but he also knew that some beliefs do kill you slowly. One disappointment at a time, one failed relationship after another, one decade wasted searching for something that was never there. The soulmate belief is one of those beliefs. It won't kill you physically, but it will kill your chance at real connection if you let it. Smart men have decided not to let it. They've chosen strength over fantasy, reality over romance, conscious building over cosmic hoping. And the women who understand this, who've also grown up and seen through the same mythology, they're choosing these men. Because grown women don't want soulmates either. They want partners, people who show up, make conscious choices, build something real instead of chasing something imaginary. But finding those women requires you to become that man first. So let me give you the practical truth that smart men have embraced. Stop asking if someone is your soulmate. Start asking if they're a good partner. Stop looking for cosmic signs. Start evaluating actual compatibility. Stop trying to force chemistry to last forever. Start building friendship that can survive when chemistry fades. Stop believing love should be easy. Start accepting that anything worthwhile requires effort. Stop waiting to feel complete. Start showing up complete and choosing to share your completeness with someone who does the same. Nietzsche believed that becoming who you are requires you to strip away everything you were told you should be. Becoming a man who doesn't believe in soulmates requires you to strip away the romantic programming that society has spent your entire life installing. That programming runs deep. It's in every movie you've watched, every song you've heard, every story you were told about how love works. Removing it feels like betraying something sacred. But here's what smart men have realized. That sacred thing you feel like you're betraying, it was never sacred. It was just profitable for the people selling it to you. The actual sacred thing is real connection, genuine partnership, the choice to build something meaningful with another conscious human being. And you can't access that sacred thing while you're still chasing the fantasy. You have to let the fantasy die first. Nietzsche wrote about the death of God, about how humanity would have to create its own meaning once we stopped believing in divine plans. Smart men are experiencing the death of soulmates right now. They're having to create their own meaning in relationships once they stop believing in cosmic plans. Do you know what they're creating? Something better, something real, something that actually works in the long term instead of providing temporary highs followed by devastating crashes. They're creating relationships based on mutual respect instead of desperate need. They're creating partnerships based on shared values instead of intense chemistry. They're creating connections based on conscious choice instead of unconscious attraction. And those relationships, the ones built by smart men who stopped believing in soulmates, those are the relationships that actually last. Not because they're perfect, but because they're real. Not because the people in them never struggle, but because they expect struggle and work through it. Not because love makes everything easy, but because choice makes everything meaningful. But here's the final truth that Nietzsche would want you to understand. Believing in soulmates isn't romantic. It's cowardice. It's the cowardice of refusing to take responsibility for your romantic life. It's the cowardice of blaming fate when relationships fail. It's the cowardice of waiting for the universe to deliver what you should be building yourself. Smart men have found the courage to stop being cowards. They found the courage to admit that love is work, to accept that compatibility is built, to understand that great relationships come from conscious choice, not cosmic accident. That courage makes them better partners, better men, and yes, it makes them more attractive to women who've also found that same courage. Because grown women recognize the difference immediately. They recognize the difference between men who are searching for soulmates and men who are ready to build partnerships. They recognize the difference between men who need completion and men who choose connection. They recognize the difference between romantic fantasies and adult realities. And they choose the men who've already figured this out every single time. So where does this leave you? If you've been believing in soulmates your entire life, if you've been searching and hoping and disappointed over and over, if you've been wondering why intelligent men seem to approach relationships differently than everyone else, now you know. They've seen through the myth, they've embraced the reality, they've chosen conscious building over cosmic hoping. And that choice has set them free from the endless disappointment that traps everyone else. Nietzsche's final message was about creating yourself, about becoming who you are, rather than accepting who you were told to be. Smart men who no longer believe in soulmates are creating themselves as men who build rather than search, as men who choose rather than wait, as men who take responsibility rather than blame fate. That creation is available to you right now. But it requires one thing. It requires you to let go of the most seductive lie you've ever been told that somewhere out there is one perfect person meant specifically for you. And if you just keep searching, keep hoping, keep believing you'll find them, and everything will finally be easy. That person doesn't exist, that search never ends, that belief never delivers. But here's what does exist: women who are compatible with you, relationships you can build, partnerships you can choose, connection you can create, love you can make real through daily choice instead of waiting for cosmic delivery. Those things exist, and smart men are claiming them right now, while everyone else keeps searching for magic that never arrives. The question isn't whether soulmates exist. The question is whether you have the courage to live as if they don't and build something real instead. Nietzsche believed that truth was hard but worth it, that facing reality was painful but necessary, that growing up meant letting go of comforting lies. Smart men have faced this truth about soulmates, embraced the pain of letting go of that comforting lie, and grown up into men who build real connection instead of chasing fairy tales. Now comes your moment of choice. You can close this video and go back to believing in soulmates. Keep searching, keep hoping, keep ending up in the same disappointing patterns you've always experienced. Nothing wrong with that choice. Most people make it. Most people never question the mythology they were raised on. Most people die still believing in things that never serve them. Or you can make a different choice. You can accept that soulmates are mythology, that great relationships are built not found, that love is choice not fate, that partnership requires consciousness not cosmic signs. That choice won't make relationships easier, but it will make them real. It won't eliminate disappointment, but it will eliminate wasted decades searching for things that don't exist. It won't deliver fairy tale perfection, but it will deliver adult satisfaction and genuine connection and partnerships that actually work long-term. Smart men have already made their choice, and they're not going back. The evidence is too clear. The results are too good. The freedom is too valuable. They've found something better than believing in soulmates. They've found the power to create real connection instead of waiting for magical connection. And once you experience that power, once you feel what it's like to be the author of your romantic life instead of a character waiting for the plot to happen, you'll never want to go back either. This is exactly what society doesn't want you to understand, because men who stop believing in soulmates stop being controllable, stop being profitable, stop being easy to manipulate with romantic mythology. They become men who evaluate clearly, choose consciously, build intentionally, and that's dangerous to every system that profits from your confusion. But it's freedom for you, and Nietzsche was right about one thing above all else. Freedom is the most valuable thing a human being can possess. Smart men have claimed their freedom from the soulmate myth. The only question remaining is whether you're ready to claim yours. This realization has been spreading quietly among intelligent men for years now, and the ones who've embraced it are building partnerships that actually work while everyone else keeps spinning in circles, chasing cosmic perfection. The men who get this are living proof that there's a better way to approach love, relationships, and partnership than the fantasy we've all been sold. Understanding this changes everything about how you show up in relationships, how you evaluate partners, how you build connection, and most importantly, how you take control of your romantic destiny instead of leaving it to fate that never delivers. Drop a comment right now and tell me this: I choose reality over fantasy. I build rather than search. Write exactly that, because when you declare it publicly, something shifts in your mind, and you start seeing relationships through completely different eyes. That declaration is your first step toward the kind of partnership that smart men are building while everyone else wastes years searching for magic. When you make that declaration, you join a growing group of men who've seen through society's biggest romantic lie and decided to create something real instead. These men aren't waiting anymore. They're building, and the results speak for themselves in partnerships that actually last. Hit that subscribe button right now, because the next video reveals something even more controversial that intelligent men have figured out about modern relationships, something that will challenge everything else you believe about attraction and connection. The men who understand what's coming in that next video are the ones women actually choose for long-term partnership, while everyone else gets left behind still playing by rules that stopped working years ago. You'll want to see this before you make any more relationship decisions, Because once you understand this next piece, your entire approach to dating and partnership transforms completely.